Welcome back to part 2 of the best ice cream parlors in San Francisco. We're going to end this off with a bang and go the full rainbow, glitter, and toasted marshmallow works. More scoops after this loop. Ice cream is pretty universal. It's been around for thousands of years and has existed in one form or another in every culture. You got gelato in Italy, frozen yogurt in Greece, and kulfi in India. It is such a flexible dessert that people are constantly reinventing it. Like mochi ice cream, anyone? Well, San Francisco is all about reinvention, and these last 3 places define the contemporary ice cream scene. Besides By-Rite, the other nationally known San Francisco ice cream parlor is Humphry Slocombe. You can find their packed pints all throughout specialty grocers in California, Nevada, Arizona, Texas, and Hawaii, like Whole Foods.
It was opened right here in the Mission in 2008 by Jake Godbee and Sean Vahey, who named the shop after their favorite characters, Mr. Humphreys and Mrs. Slocombe, from the 1970s hit British sitcom Are You Being Served? It's a fitting name for the edgy, cutting pop culture humor of Godbee and Vahey.
They cook up these very inventive tongue-in-cheek flavors like the chocolate cherry cheesecake, which is an homage to the Golden Girls Christmas episode, and the still uber popular Jesus Juice, which was influenced by Michael Jackson and is a combination of sweet red wine and Coca-Cola. And in fact, it's still their #1 best-selling sorbet. They're also not afraid to use really out there ingredients like foie gras and prosciutto. So if you're the adventurous type and you happen to see it on the menu, for sure you've got to get a scoop. Definitely adult humor and decidedly adult flavors. So if you got a family, your kids may not like this place unless they've got a pretty sophisticated palate.
By far, their #1 selling flavor is Secret Breakfast, which is the flavor that started it all 11 years ago. It's a whimsical throwback to single bachelor days with its perfect combo of bourbon and cornflakes. I mean, what hard-partying 20-something wouldn't secretly eat that for breakfast, right?
That is a gorgeous, gorgeous ice cream. It feels really dense without being heavy, also super creamy. What's kind of nice is that the bourbon is not all throughout, and so you get this pocket of sweet booziness every once in a bit. The bourbon's not that strong, but there's that nice hint of it at the back of your throat when you're done. Just like real bourbon. I don't know if you guys can see, but the texture of this ice cream is quite stretchy. It's very similar to a Turkish ice cream. And the cornflake chunks are also nice, but they're kind of soft from being in the ice cream, so it's a little bit like if you'd left your cereal in milk too long. That's exactly what this tastes like. This isn't the most in-your-face flavor profile, so it's perfect for people who kind of like a more traditional ice cream. And there's a second location here at the Ferry Building, which might be a little bit more accessible to out-of-towners. Edgy flavors aren't the only latest trend. The next place we're going to embodies modern ice cream. One of the newest entries into San Francisco's ice cream scene is Milkbomb, which skyrocketed overnight into popularity with their Instagram-worthy Milkbombs, ice cream donut sandwiches. Co-owners Mike Manuel and Marian Valenzuela just opened this location in 2017, and it's doing so well, they've already opened up a second location in Berkeley. Their signature Milkbombs are a modern take off Mike's childhood dessert, which is Filipino pandesal, a sweetbread that you can eat for breakfast or for dessert, usually with some sweet jam or made into a bread pudding. But in his case, Mike's mom used to cut it open, sandwich a huge heaping scoop of ice cream in between. So good.
Here, though, they're using freshly fried donuts in plain, glazed, cinnamon, or sugar. Warmed, split in half, and filled with 1 or 2 scoops of their house-made ice cream. The flavors are exotic without being too over the top and are based on favorites from Mike and Marian's childhood like Filipino ube or sweet potato and Mexican horchata. It's almost a must to go overboard and do multiple toppings, of which there's a huge variety. Most people do a dry, so Reese's or Cap'n Crunch, and a sauce like salted caramel or chamoy, a Mexican savory condiment used on mangoes and fruit. Here's mine. I got a glazed donut with a double scoop of ube ice cream and Blue Dream, aka Cookie Monster, with fruity pebbles, drizzles of chocolate and condensed milk, and topped with their specialty marshmallow fluff that is torched in front of your eyes so it's all warm and s'mores gooey when you bite into your bomb.
Oh my God, that is finger licking good. This Milkbomb is a total flavor bomb. So let's try a little bit of the ube on its own. Yum, that is a very intense flavor. That ube is very predominant and the ice cream is creamy and sweet and very reminiscent of the ice creams you get as a kid. Oh, yummy. Cookies and cream on steroids. Also chock full of cookie bits. I got a pretty substantial mouthful of cookie dough in there, I think. So Mike tells me that they achieve the coloring via a little spirulina. So no artificial coloring, very natural. This bit of toasted marshmallow has probably got to be my favorite. It's super light and fluffy, and with that little bit of crisp burntness, it's like a giant s'more. Although if you want to go with something a little less sweet, they do have mochi bits in there, which will give you that same chewy texture. And with cereal is great for a little bit of crunchiness. And I love that whole process of putting this Milkbomb together. It's a little bit like buying froyo. You pick your base donut, you pick your flavors inside, you pick your toppings, you pick your sauces. The only downside is you gotta eat it kind of fast before all the ice cream melts, so you can't really sit and savor it. This is a super novel treat, and the younger kids will definitely love it. And I think it'll appeal to some of us older kids too.
If you're more laid back and just want to kick it up a tiny notch, they've got waffle cones made in various fab flavors. The red velvet is super popular, and occasionally some French macaron ice cream sandwiches.
And if that wasn't extravagant enough, this next location is the proverbial cherry on top of our series. It seems only fitting to end this video series with a contemporary take on ice cream, fully interactive at the Museum of Ice Cream. MOIC started as a pop-up art exhibition in 2016 celebrating joy and imagination through the medium of ice cream. It's toured through Los Angeles, New York, Miami, and now it's found its permanent home here in San Francisco's financial district. You must buy your tickets in advance online for your 1-hour slot. It's kind of expensive, but it's well worth it to experience at least once.
After a short wait in line, we slide down into our fantastical Alice in Wonderland adventure. You are greeted by a sweet treat, and your journey is about to begin. It's part decadent ice cream, part over-the-top art for the senses, and part social media frenzy with a different theme in each room.
The famous sprinkle pool. Let's go. And if you didn't get enough ice cream in there, at the end there's Cafe 1905C after this Pantone color. They'll sell you as many scoops of ice cream as you want until you get your fix. And that wraps our Sweet Sweet San Francisco ice cream series. Did I miss anything? Share your favorite San Francisco parlor in the comments down below. Thanks for joining me today on this epic adventure, and until next time, peace out.